Hello and welcome back to revisegcsehistory.co.uk. This is the second video on medicine in ancient Greece, and in this video today we're going to be looking at the supernatural beliefs and treatments of the ancient Greeks. Let's make a start. Okay, so Greek gods. The Greeks had many gods. Good start, I'll change that. Had many gods. They controlled all aspects of their lives. They had a god of wisdom, a god of wine, and even a god of laughing, so they had gods for everything. They believed gods caused events such as earthquakes, and that if there was a rich harvest, they said that the gods were pleased. They said people were great soldiers, as gods favoured them. They also had a Greek god of healing called Asclepius. Temples were built to the Greek god Asclepius. And you may see Asclepius written in various ways, but I just write it like this. Either way is, I don't write it like that, that's spelt wrong. There's a typing error I've made there. Asclepius. There's various ways you can write it. Writing it like this isn't acceptable in the exam. You might see a bit of variation looking in textbooks, revision guides, etc. So basically you don't need to know these three middle points here, but they're just to demonstrate that the Greeks had many gods, and they had gods which controlled aspects of all their lives, really. So these three middle points are just demonstrating that point. Okay, so Asclepia, which is plural for the singular Asclepion. An Asclepion is a temple built to the Greek god of healing, Asclepios. So it's an Asclepion. Some people might pronounce it Asclepion if they're quite posh, but I'm not, so it's an Asclepion to me. Yeah, you may hear it an Asclepion or Asclepia, but I think it's Asclepia. So temples were built to the Greek god of healing called Asclepions. People go to stay in an Asclepion when they became ill. The Greeks believed that when they went to sleep in the Asclepion at night, the Greek god of healing and his daughters would heal them. So they believed the gods would come round, the Greek god of healing, Asclepius, and his two daughters would come and heal them. This picture here shows the Greek god of healing, Asclepius, he's this one here to the left, and his two daughters, Hygeia and Panacea. Hygeia is the Greek goddess of health, and Panacea is the Greek goddess of healing, and Asclepius is the Greek god of healing. So they thought that they would come and see them at night and heal them whilst they were asleep. And the daughters of Asclepius were Hygeia and Panacea. They were involved in medical healing, and the words Hygeia and Panacea actually derive two terms in modern medicine today. Can you guess what they are? Well, from the word Hygeia we get the word hygiene, which means cleanliness, and from Panacea, the word panacea today means a remedy for all ills. So that's a bit about an Asclepion. So what exactly happened at an Asclepion then? How did people become better by staying there when they were ill? So visitors, there's a bit of a list of what they did. Visitors bathed, relaxed and took part in exercise in gymnasiums. Over here we can see a diagram of an Asclepios. There's some baths here which people go and bathe in, and some other buildings. There's a stadium where people could exercise, and there are also gymnasiums. They prayed to the Asclepios, Greek god of healing. They prayed to Asclepios, Greek god of healing, and that was the temple of Asclepios there, which is labelled. That's where they could pray to him. They slept in an abaton. This was a building with a roof but no walls, so it was open to the air. This long building here is the abaton where patients slept at night and were visited by Asclepios and his daughters Hygeia and Panacea, and they would heal them. Priests also did ward rounds, performing rituals which involved snakes. That's why on a pharmacy or a doctor's surgery today we sometimes have pictures of snakes. It comes from this idea of Asclepions. Especially if you go abroad to a doctor's, like European countries are more familiar with this, you might see a picture of a snake on a doctor's surgery. And success stories were recorded in inscriptions on the walls and... Sorry, I put my teeth in. Success stories recorded in inscriptions on the walls of an Asclepion. So people would say, you know, I'm John, I came to Asclepion with an headache, I've left feeling better, definitely come here, I think it's great. Which is a bit silly really, because if you're reading these testimonials or inscriptions on the walls, you're already at the Asclepion, but I suppose I didn't think of that in ancient Greece. Right, anyway. And the Asclepions were built in quiet places where people could relax and bathe. Basically, have a stress-free break. It's basically like going on holiday. So do you think staying at an Asclepion would make you feel better? Obviously we know today that the Greek god of healing and his daughters and these priests doing war drowns, placing snakes on patients, wouldn't make you feel any better. All that stuff wouldn't make you feel any better at all. But if you think about it, people are bathing, relaxing, exercising in stadiums and gymnasiums. They generally relaxing and doing some exercise, which always makes you feel better, so they say. So I think patients would actually feel better after going to an Asclepion. So they did work, but not in... They worked, but not for the reasons they were built, which seems a bit daft. So here are the remains of an Asclepion, we can see from this picture. Obviously in ancient Greece you wouldn't have these tourists looking around it, and all this civilization here. But yeah, they're the remains of an Asclepion from ancient Greece. And there's a bit of a source here taken. There's a bit of a source here taken from the textbook. So just have a quick read through this. Hopefully the quality of the video is good enough, and hopefully you can read yourself. So I won't read it out to you. So it's a man goes to an Asclepion with an abscess in his abdomen. In the night, some servants cut open his abdomen, and Asclepius, Greek god of healing, cuts his belly open, removes the abscess, and is stitched up again. He walked out of the operation fine, but the floor was covered in blood. So there we are, that's sort of the end of this video for today. A few quick knowledge recall questions now to check you've got this stuff nailed. You may wish to pause the video here and attempt these questions yourself. If not, carry on watching and we'll have a look at some answers together. So what happened when a patient slept in an Asclepion at night? So they slept in an abaton visited by Asclepius and his daughters. Sorry, this handwriting isn't very good. And his daughters. What were the names of Asclepius' daughters? Hygeia and Panacea. And you can remember we derive modern words from their names. What could patients do while staying at Asclepion? They could bathe, generally relax, exercise, all these sort of things, pray to the gods in the hope of getting better. Name and describe the building that visitors to an Asclepion slept in. They slept in a building called an abaton. And an abaton had a roof but no walls. So it was open to the this abaton. So there we are, they're the answers to the 4 quick knowledge recall questions. Hopefully you've got them right. If not, check back through the video to see where you went wrong. Thank you for watching the video today, and I will see you sometime very soon. Thanks.